Don't believe the script. Every limit they gave you was a trick. The weight gets heavier, but so do you. Break the ceiling, break the system through. Dead on arrival, not today. Dead on arrival, we don't play. They wrote the ending before you began. Rip the page out, rewrite the plan. Dead on arrival, not today. Not today.
just a glitch, that's a truth.
Override, override, override the lie. Override, override. Every limit dies. They wrote the program. You didn't consent. Override the system, override the construct. Override. Let's go! Let's go! No. Truth doesn't trend, it doesn't get likes. It doesn't come in curated highlight nights. They buried it under the sponsored post. The one that got the reach the most. But you can feel it in the iron grip. Every rapper word they can't script. The bar doesn't lie about who you are. No algorithm between you and the scar. Rising, tension, the guitars climb. Every nerve awake. This moment is mine. They can't brand this. They can't sell this back. Truth has weight. And I'm under the stack. Truth has weight. Feel it, load it up. Truth has weight. Every rip from now to gone. They can package everything you do. But they can't package what the iron proves. Truth has weight. Truth has weight. The system sells you shortcuts to the top. 6-week programs never have to stop. Macro manage life in 30 days. Productivity hacks, dopamine haze. But you've been in this room 2 years of nights. No shortcut, just a long slow fight. You know what nobody in the feed admits. The truth is in the process, not the pigs. They track your data. They sell your pattern. They predict your next move before you make it. But not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Truth has weight. Feel it, load it on. Truth has weight. Every rip from now to gone. They can package everything you do. But they can't package what the iron proves. Truth has weight. Truth has weight. Truth has weight. Truth has weight. Scroll and consume, repeat and scroll. They designed the loop to take control. Micro dopamine, macro debt. A life optimized for mild regret. But the floor of the gym is a clean slate. No metrics here, no engagement rate. Just a body in the basic truth. Every system lies and dying is proof. Feel the pressure. Let the chorus erupt. Every comfortable lie that you want disrupted. This is a signal above the noise floor. Hit it harder, then hit it more. Noise floor. Rise above it. Noise floor. Run right through it. Everything they fed you. Push it down. Noise floor. Every lie. Drop it on the ground. Noise floor. Noise floor. The signal, the noise is all they control. Flood the channel so you can't reach the goal. Manufactured controversy, rented outrage. The construct performs on a very crowded stage. But in this room, the frequency is clean. You're the signal, you know what I mean. Straight the static, strip the spots of fear. The only voice that matters now is here. Everything that reaches you has been filtered. Everything you believe has been delivered. everything you want was suggested. Nice floor, rise above it. Nice floor, burn right through it. Everything they fed you, pushing down. Nice floor, every lie, drop it on the ground. Nice floor, nice floor. They want you smooth and digital and clean. A profile picture, not a human being. Metrics for your mood, your spin, your sleep. A quantified self they own and keep. But the fist is in the log, the grip is real. No app can simulate what I am feels. This body is the last untracked frontier. And every rep is proof that you were here. Tension rising, let the guitar scream. Pump drums driving like they're tearing at the seams. Not a content piece, not a structured post. This is the analog thing they fear the most. Analog fist in the digital face. Analog fist, reclaim your space. Unplug, on track, on an edge, step outside. Analog fist, the truth, the feast can't hide. Analog fist, analog fist. The wearable says your heart rate's high. Recommends a rest day, tells you why. The algorithm knows you're pushing past the zone. Sends a notification to your phone. But the body has a signal older than the app. It says keep going, it doesn't want to map. It says the limit that they set was for the average. And you stop being average in the first passage. The most revolutionary act in a world that measures everything is to do something was open so you'd stay the same. But a breach is just a place the wall is thin, a hairline crack where the signal bleeds in. And every time you showed up to this floor, you were drilling at the wall a little more. The firewall is cracking. Feel the shift. Every rep another increment, another lift. The system wasn't built for this resistance. Keep the pressure on, keep the distance. Firewall breach, they can't stop this signal. Firewall breach, every wall is fictional. They built the limit thinking you'd comply. Firewall breach and breach and breach. Goodbye. Firewall breach. Firewall breach. Root. Access isn't granted, it is taken. The system doesn't yield until it's shaken. Every comfortable assumption challenged here. Every manufactured boundary made clear. The construct operates on your consent. The moment that you withdraw it, there's a dent, and dent by dent the structure starts to show. The firewall was only ever for show. Requesting access. Deny. Requesting access. Deny. Requesting access. Granted. Firewall breach. They can't stop this signal. Firewall breach. Every wall is fictional. They built the limit thinking you'd comply. Firewall breach and breach and breach. Goodbye. Firewall breach. Firewall breach. Yeah. They catch the system every few years. Reset the narrative, reboot the fears. New enemy, new product, new desire. Same loop, but now we're better. Higher, but your uptime is a different metric now. Every session log, nobody asks you how. Things are showing up despite the noise. The construct doesn't measure that. Your choice, the base is locked. The rhythm won't stop. Every system they built, watch it drop. Uptime running, you've been awake. Every rep another record that you break. Uptime record, still running strong. Uptime record, been away too long. They wanted you to crash to rest, comply. Uptime record, watch your systems die. Uptime record. They know that never drops to the dangerous one. The brother who keeps running after everyone's done. They model dropout rates and burnout curves, but they didn't prepare for someone with your nerves. You're the anomaly that breaks the graph. The data point that meets the algorithm laugh. Except it isn't laughing, it's confused by the human that refuses to be used. Somewhere in the network, there's a node. It's been online since before you downloaded the code. It's been sending the same signal for years. You've been receiving it. You just never knew the source. Still running strong. Been awake too long. They wanted you to crash to rest, comply. Watch the systems die. Uptime record. Uptime record. Somewhere in the network, there's a node. It's been online lying. Since before you downloaded the code, it's been sending the same signal for years. You've been receiving it. You just never knew the song. Uptime Record, still undistraught. Uptime Record, been away too long. They wanted you to crash to rest. Come by. Uptime Record, watch your systems die. Uptime Record. They crashed the system. But solid. They crash the system every few years. 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 They crash the system. Uptime Record. Uptime Record. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash the system every few years. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash the system every few years. Uptime Record. Uptime Record. They crash the system every few years. Uptime Record. Uptime Record. They crash the system. 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 They crash the system every few years. Every few years. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash the system. They crash. Uptime Record. Uptime Record. They crash the system every few years. They crash the system every few years. They crash the system. They crash. They crash. They crash. They crash the system every few years. They crash the system.
One.
Control demolition. That's a science. You don't blow the structure up in defiance. You find the low-bearing lie at the base and you pull it with precision and with grace. They taught you the structure was too strong. Told you the walls have always been along. But a runner reads a blueprint, finds a flaw. And every training session is a song. Staccato pressure, building at the seam. Drum machine urgency, fueling the regime. Control demolition, pick the point. Every perfect rep dismantles one more joy. Control demolition, bring it down. Control demolition, level this town. The construct is impermanent, it's planned. Control demolition, and it falls as designed. Control demolition. They call it discipline, we call it strategy. They call it obsession, we call it clarity. Every single session was a structural test. Find the weakness, apply the stress. The body is a metaphor for everything. Break it right and it comes back stronger in the spring. Break the system right with the right applied force. And the construct falls, it was on course.
broken from inside. We never said anything about inside.
Control demolition! Bring it down! Control demolition! Level this town! The construct isn't permanent, it's planned. Control demolition! And it falls design! Control demolition! Is the weapon they wield. 1,000 packets, all the data sealed. They control the channel and they own the flow. They decide what you know and don't know. But a packet slips through every firewall. A frequency that answers the call. And it doesn't need a server, doesn't need a host. It's the thing you feel the most. Pressure goes along the spectrum rising. Crunchy riff and bass synchronizing. One packet of truth in the noise tonight. Hit it hard, hit it right. Packet of truth can't contain it. They can't explain it. Everything they filtered, breaking through. Packet of truth and it's addressed to you. Packet of truth. Packet of truth. They wanted you distracted and afraid. A demographic profile custom made. Click the outrage, share the narrative feed. Consume the content, plant the seed. But here the only packet being sent is the one your body signed and meant. Every lift away to clean transmission. Every step's a run without permission.
So who decides what's true? The platform, the source, the feed, or the thing inside your chest that recognizes truth before it reads it. Trackable profile, a consumer node, ID compiled. Your data is the product that they sell. Your attention is the inventory that fell. But a ghost moves through the system without trace. A presence in the algorithm's empty space. No beacon, no location, no consent, just output. And the system can't prevent.
The rift climbs higher. Tension at the peak. Gang vocals loading, 40 voices ready to speak. Ghost protocol, running parallel. They track everything except what they can't tell. Ghost protocol activated. The
Digital exile knows the quiet lane, the path that runs outside the managed brain. No sponsored moment, no algorithmic push, just clarity arrived at through the rush. Every set is private, unobserved. Every breakthrough, no reward deserved. The ghost doesn't need the validation screen. The ghost has already seen what it has seen. They know what you search. They know when you sleep. They know what you buy before you know you need it. They don't know this. Ain't never built a model for this. Full banters. Ghost protocol activated. Ghost protocol. They're too late. You're running where their sensors cannot reach. Ghost protocol. The construct out of speech. Ghost protocol. Ghost protocol. Out of reach. Ghost protocol. Ghost protocol. Ghost protocol. Every morning the simulation loads, the same commute, the same assigned nodes. Traffic and coffee in the calendar block, a human life run by an automated clock. But the glitch appears in the strangest place, in the gym at dawn with chalk on your face. The routine they design is a gap at this hour, and in that gap you locate your power. Guitars rising, approaching the break. Everything comfortable about to shake. The glitch is the gap, and the gap is the door. And you've been walking through it since before. Glitch in the grind. That's where you live. Glitch in the grind. That's all you give. They couldn't simulate this commitment. Glitch in the grind. System intermittent. Glitch in the grind. Glitch in the grind. The glitch is not a flaw, it's a feature. The crack in the wall where you reach, or the moment the algorithm fails to predict the behavior it couldn't conscript. You're the bug that the patch can't fix, the anomaly in their politics. Every morning session, another glitch. The system's starting to lose its itch. They patch the morning. They patch the evening. They patch the weekend and the holidays. They forgot to patch this. Glitch in the grind. That's where you live. Glitch in the grind. That's all you give. They couldn't simulate this commitment. Glitch in the grind. System intermittent. Glitch in the grind. Glitch in the grind. They bottleneck the channel at the source. Manage the bandwidth, manage the discourse. Throttle the signal when it gets too clear. Introduce the noise when truth gets near. But maximum throughput is the protocol here. No throttle, no managed atmosphere. Full channel open, no latency. Every rep delivered instantly. The drums locking at maximum pace. Guitar walls second of hesitation was installed. Every moment of self-doubt was delivered. Every ceiling you believe in was engineered.
Maximum throughput.
All channels open.
Maximum throughput.
System is broken. They couldn't limit what was never asked.
Maximum throughput.
No mask, no mask.
Maximum throughput. Maximum throughput.
They stress test structures before they deploy. Apply the pressure, see what they destroy. Find the fault lines before the public loads. Before the masses walk across those roads. But nobody ever stress tested you. Nobody ever pushed to find what's true. They delivered you a life at 30% and called it living. Called it what they meant. Tension in the riff about to crack. Every comfortable story falling back. Stress test running, find your fault line now. You don't know the ceiling till you show it how. Stress test, push to the limit and pass. Stress test, nothing designed to last. Every manufactured ceiling hits the floor. Stress test, and then you find what's more. Stress test. Stress test. Whole branch you overload is not just lifting theory. It's a philosophy for those who hear me. You cannot know the edge until you touch it. You cannot find the truth until you rush it. The construct never wanted you to know the actual limit, just the one on show. So the stress test becomes the act of faith. Apply the force, discover the real way. The stress test reveals what was always there. The capacity was never what they told you. The limit was the lie. Stress test, push to the limit and pass. Stress test, nothing designed to last. Every manufactured ceiling hits the floor. Stress test, and then you find what's more. Stress test. Stress test. Stress test. Stress test. Cold boot, no
no cash, no save state. Walking raw, create your own fate. No warm-up from yesterday's compliance. No stored beliefs from their appliance. Every session is a factory clear. No borrowed confidence, just what's here. The cold boot is the honest start. No social script, just you and the bar. The guitar drive without a safety net. Bass locked in, no compromise yet. Cold boot running, no inherited fear. Every rep from nothing, from right here. Cold boot, no system state save. Cold boot, no borrowed courage brave. Whatever they installed last night. Cold boot to lead and start it right. Cold, cold. The inherited anxiety loads first. The comparison reflex second worst. The algorithm curated self-doubt. The managed image inside and out. But a cold boot clears the startup sequence. No preloaded narrative, no screen. Just a fundamental operating core. The version of you before the construct's lore.
Every morning you wake up carrying someone else's data. Their fear, their standard, their measurement of you.
What if you showed up with nothing? No prior state, no loaded assumptions. Just a cold boot, just you. Cold boot, no system state safe. No borrowed courage brave. Whatever they installed last night. Cold boot to lead and start it right. Cold boot. Cold boot. Cold boot. A million voices screaming in the feed. A curated urgency, a manufactured need. The outrage of the morning, gone by noon. Replaced by something else, a different tune. Signal the noise, the ratio is key. They maximize the noise so you can't see. But in this room, the signal is unmixed. The noise ratio permanently fixed. The guitar wall is building, can you hear it? Beneath the noise, the signal getting near it. Lock the frequency, don't let it go. Signal the noise, and now you know. Signal the noise, I choose the signal. Signal the noise, the truth is minimal. Strip the static, strip the spots of lies. Signal the noise and I'm amplified. Signal the noise, signal the noise. Signal the noise. The noise is comfortable, the signal's hard. The noise requires nothing, lowers guard. The signal asks you to adjust your frame, to question what you thought was in your name. But hear the noise of sweat falling to the floor, and the signal is the thing you're fighting for. Every session cuts the ratio down. The signal's louder, and the noise is drowned. What's left when you turn everything off? That's the signal. Signal the noise, I choose the signal. Signal the noise, the truth is minimal. Strip the static, strip the spots of lies. Signal the noise and I'm amplified. Signal the noise, signal the noise. Signal the noise.
conditions. A life of options made by their decisions. Consumer access to the life they built. A user role wrapped in productivity guilt. But root access isn't granted, it is earned. In the hours and the sessions that you burn. Every morning that you show when you could have stayed. And mother escalation of the trade. Mother urgency, the drum will slow. Staccato riff driving where you need to go. Root tax rising through the system stack. Once you've had it, you don't go back. Root access granted. You're inside. Root access granted. Nowhere to hide. The system that was built to keep you out. Root access granted. Execute the route. Root access. Root access granted. The navigator sees what the potential can. The architecture clear beneath the slant. Every loop exposed, every limit named, every manufactured ceiling now acclaimed. You've been running access escalation drills, every rep up packet, every session skills. And now the terminal accepts your key. The system that denied you set you free. Root access. It's not permission. Root access. It's no recognition. That permission was never theirs to give. Root access granted. You're inside. Root access granted. Nowhere to hide. The system that was built to keep you out. Root access granted. Execute the route. Root access. Root access granted. Root access. It's granted. Root access. They handed you the script before you spoke. Your lines were written in the cradle stroke. The character, the role, the acceptable arc. Success defined in someone else's dark. But the gym has no script, no page to read, no director shouting action, guaranteed. This is the room where the narrative ends, and something truer than their story bends. Guitars rising like they're burning down the stage. Like the fury, every word a page. Burn the script, you know you did it. Write it, every rep a word, recomposed, ignited. Not it. Burn the script, not your story, theirs. Burn the script, not your burden, theirs. Everything they wrote, you strike it through. Burn the script and write the version true. Burn the script. Burn the script. The education was a chapter they prepared. The career path was a plot line that they shared. The status symbols were the props on set. The algorithm is the director, not dead yet. But a runner doesn't take the assigned role. A runner reads the script, then takes control. Line by line, the borrowed life expires. Every rep another page that fires. What do you actually want? Not what you've been told to want. Not what the feed approved. Not what fits septic story. Hurry.
construct visible, you see the how. Every pattern that you couldn't name before, now outline clear, you can't see the floor. You came for the session, stayed for the truth. The frequency worked and here's the proof. The machine they built can't account for this. The one who shows up every time past the abyss. Final chorus load at maximum. Every voice in this room, the gymnasium. Protocol completing, feel the weight. One more rep, then we detonate. Protocol complete, signal receive. Protocol complete, you actually believe everything they built to make you stop. Protocol complete, you're over the top. Protocol complete. Protocol complete. Protocol complete. The runner doesn't graduate, just continues. The navigator was a runner once, it's in us. Signal guy was the first one to refuse to run the loop, to construct, pre-approve. And now the signal carries your frequency too. Another node awake, another vector through. The protocol isn't over, it expands. Every time someone shows up, makes demands. Makes demands. This is not the end. This is where it starts. Every potential who felt something in this album. Every gym that played this at 6 in the morning. Every night coder who found the signal. You're already running. Protocol complete.